Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to talk to you all about this. Okay, let me tell you what we're talking about. Response to Keke Palmer when she was on the Today Show, interviewing with Jenna and talking about living in separate spaces with her future marital partner. Ooh, I'm Shanithia, and on this channel, we talk about feelings here, but particularly finding the truth in your voice in difficult conversations with people you care about. I have been waiting for for this to go because so far it has only been with my crazy family. And when I do say, you know what, I think I'm gonna live in separate quarters. Like, summon me. Like like the king did Esther. You need something, call me up on text me. I'll be there, my lord. Hello? Why do we have to live in the same house? I'm that person that thought of double sinks in the primary room before before it became popular. I would be that person. Or better yet, I'm the person that thinks if the toilet seat is really an issue, get two toilets in the bathroom. That's that is me. That's logical thinking. It's not emotional. It's not tied to your proximity to Christianity. It's not tied to how much you love or care about the person or even selfishness. I'm not marriage. I want to be married. But there are some things I know about myself that that it's probably best if we don't live in the same house. Now, do I think we could do separate, like live in a duplex? Yes, I do. You know, we both own the duplex, but I'm in A and he's in B. Or the setup could be he lives one street over. We're near each other. We can see each other's cars, pick up each other's mail. But I don't actually have to have that either. I could even entertain if he lived in a different state. But there has to be some parameters, some ground rules, and some maturity. You know, pretend like I'm in my 80s and I brought this up. Most people wouldn't give me a hard time. But for some reason, because I'm in my mid 40s, I've never been married, people treat me like I don't know what I don't know. And therefore, there's some room for error, lots of room for error. And therefore, their fears they want to give to me. And I say, no. Now, when I was in my late 20s, I had this really fantastic opportunity to travel all over the world through my job. And I became a very nomadic person. Now, the interesting thing is, at the same time, I was in a long term relationship with someone who was really ready to walk into their full purpose in life and go into ministry and settle with kids and all of that. Now, I was willing to have children, but it wasn't until I started traveling, seeing the world, that I realized, hold up, maybe maybe since I'm still in that age in my late 20s of trying to define my life, maybe this is not something I want for myself. But because of the type of environment that I grew in, socially, actually physically, I grew up in rural North Carolina. It was very, very in a relatively conservative political area. It was very normal for people to get married, have children, own a home or two, and live the best that you know how to live in your walk with Christ, or not. And that was my, way too. And then I got that was interrupted by this opportunity in life, and that opened up my possibilities into the world. We end up parting ways primarily because we were really on different paths. And the more I discovered about myself is that I don't have that strong desire to be a mother. Now, I could be if I met the absolute compatible person for me, but I was like, I could take it or leave it. I don't have to have it. And so it's not a rejection of the potential partner at all. And I'm doing this because I do need notes at this stage in life. I'm aware that I need space, and not every day would I be a great partner to someone if we were living under the same roof. But because, honey lamb, I know that this has gotten pushback even in my own circles, like people are not taking me seriously and like, girl, bye. And they're especially because they know that uh, I would like to be married to someone who has a similar culture to mine. And they're like, who are you going to find at this age if they really like you that don't want to be right up underneath you? Not all the time, but want to just be around you a lot. And I think sometimes their fears of the unknown can be projected onto me. And I'm like, let's just try it on. Okay, let's just try it on. Like I said, I would have been that person in the 1880s that would have said, we should start doing double sinks in the primary bedrooms from now on because I don't like sharing my space with you, husband. That would have been me. I probably would have laughed at then too. When Kiki brought this up, I think people sometimes hear it as a classist issue, like she's of a certain class, she's has a certain social circle, so of course they're having these kinds of conversations. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I am on a shoestring budget, and I was on a shoestring budget in my mid 30s when I thought about this, and I still feel the same way that Kiki feels when she was on in that interview, which is having my own personal space and that sense of, wait for it, independence. It's not a bad word. Is I show up in ways with my partner that is magnificent. Location matters. Case in point, lovely guy. I live in Maryland, and he's from down south where I'm from. I couldn't even have the conversation about what if I just stay here and you stay there and we made this work. There were so many variables that got in the way of even entertaining the conversation. And it just boiled down to he has a traditional approach to marriage. And there is nothing wrong with that. The issue I have is when you are introduced to something that you've never really heard about, how do I feel on the other side of that conversation? And in finding my voice and being courageous and telling myself the truth about how I want to see my marital life, I realize this is not a space where I can come and be my full expressed self in this environment. Thank you, Kiki, for even bringing up this conversation. I very much appreciate it because it's to me a way of choosing peace because I'm of this big age now. So check out my other video where I talk about what to do when people get on your very last nerves. Um, and I appreciate you listening. Peace.